It's fine. I get up. Lose focus. Come on, be who care. I'm gonna stay focused. Opportunities.
How you feel, hustlers? I've been hustling all day, every day, this way, that way, Buffett, and that's how I feel. Got out in boozing pill up in my car. Sanbanani, Ninjani, and a salute to all my hustlers. Less iSpani, Buffett. Jobaga Sintulela, Epepu Esisha, and Tabuti Lapamakaya, Zostozela, Zoshablela, Ikamu Maple Shuma, Botang, Hamba Nastala Buffett, Zanele. Intokazi ke qhamuke emaphandleni bafethu endle ezilalini njengoba ke sithola ke einkampanini ezinkulu bafethu ababizwa ukuthi iAccenture bafethu njengoba ke intokazi ke ifuna ukungena lapha kumkhakha ababizwa ukuthi imanagement consulting bafethu so hlangana naye ke ukuthi asitshele ubalula ukuthi uqhamuka kwesiphi isigodi njengoba ngithi xhuma sihlale phezulu ngendaba.
My name is Zanele Sekano. I'm 25 years old and I live in Pretoria. My dad was in exile for 20 plus years in Kenya.
It's 1964, and I came to the politics, some Zavalazo. I corrected some of them, taking Singata, train militarily. Until the scholarship is in the United Nations. I tutor more Kenya politic technique.
When I was born in 91 there. I started off in the village, and then we moved to the city. And then I loved the village so much, so I never wanted to be in the city. In the village, it's my grandmother's farm. They had a coffee plantation and different things on the farm, but mainly the coffee. And would go to the farm to follow the people picking the coffee, only to know that we had to look after the children of the women picking the coffee. There was milking of cows, and then taking the milk closer to the city from the village so that it could be picked up and then taken to the city for sale. We'd play different games. You make games in the village. You'd make a football out of paper bags and rope and tie it around and play football. Then we were lucky at some point to have bicycles. I don't know where those bikes came from, but we got bicycles and we'd ride on the road, the one road that has tar in the village.
South Africa, Mandela released the political party di Anbeniwa. Then like 2000.
It was a difficult move for a kid because you're thinking you're leaving your entire family behind, and then you come here and you have just as a beautiful family on this side as well. We stayed in Soweto for 1 year, right? We went to school there, we got used to the whole environment. It wasn't much of a difference.
And then Ratamo Pretoria, and in Terensimo, same plaque for 15 or 16 years.
Primary, I went to the local Nyanda primary school, and then when we moved to the city, I started attending Nairobi Primary School. And then when we moved to South Africa, then I went to Milnerton School in Johannesburg for a year. When it came to changing schools from Kenya to South Africa, it was an easy adaptation. I adapted very quickly. The one thing I was excited about was Afrikaans, and I thought, yes, I'm gonna learn this, I'm gonna get it. When I was still in school, this is primary high school, every Saturday we'd wake up every morning.
Library,
Would look for 6 books to read during the week. And on the Friday before we go to the library the next day, we just sit around as a family and discuss what we read.
And this thing, broad-minded, world view, as they say. The book, the video, increase character and discipline and expand the horizons.
And when I moved to high school, that's when I started taking things seriously, and it became very competitive, especially from grade 8, because at the school they had this honors roll, principal's honors roll, top 10, and you wanted to be on that top 10. So most of the times I'd be in the top 5, but then I got tired of that, so I went to play the top 3, and that's where I stayed until I matriculated. And then I decided to go the engineering route because there was a lot of funding for engineering. And I chose metallurgy. I went to class every morning and I thought, this is not what I wanted to do. And I thought, it's going to be 4 years of this, maybe more, because I might fail because I'm not enjoying it. And so after 3 months, I left. I dropped out, as many people would call it. I dropped out. And I came home and I started applying for medicine and my biological sciences. The next year I went to the Free State and I applied for genetics. That was a part of biological sciences in the natural and agricultural faculty. I did my undergrad in genetics, graduated, did my honors for a year, graduated in that as well. And then I started my master's. The master's degree is 2 years. I'm completing it this year. I stayed away from home for 7 years. So while I was away, I'd come on holiday, and when I leave and I get back to Bloemfontein and I open my suitcase, my mom has left me letters in there.
Ek is tricky ke artist, maar ek na le responsibility ya motswadi. And go na le message tsa gagwe mo cell phone anteboga are wa itse ke leboga gore ko wena o nkgodisitseng. You see, so dilo tse di nkira happy.
I started looking for jobs and I started finding that I'm either overqualified in terms of the level of studying. The careers that I could go into were in being a lecturer and in going into academics or research, and I thought I may not want to do that right now at this stage in my life. I'm a bit too young to commit myself like that. A cousin of mine, he said to me, go into consulting, look into business consulting, because what they want is someone who can be given a problem and they can come and solve it in different ways and propose different ways of solving a problem. And he said, look into Accenture, and the next morning I looked into it. I started applying for the Grad program, and we had different stages of interview. So the first one was a telephonic virtual interview where you had to answer questions on the phone and then submit that. And then after that, you had to go in and you were in groups and you performed tasks and you solved problems at a group, and then that moved you to the next stage. Tomorrow is the final stage of the whole interview process for the Grad program at Accenture.
The best thing I always na for is breathing. Breathe and you'll speak confidently. Your words must be carried by your breath. Correct. That shows your strengths or weaknesses.
I used to be a very boring person. In varsity, every Saturday I just wake up 6 o'clock, study. Getting this job would mean me traveling, getting my life back that I think I lost when I was in varsity, and also just making sure that my brother's varsity journey is more bearable, whatever he wants, that he needs, that I can get that for him. I've just arrived at Accenture for my final interview. We've had a couple of these, slightly different every time, and I hope this time will be a combination of all of them, that my experiences will see me through, and I hope it goes well. I am slightly nervous, but I'm confident.
Hi Zanele, lovely to finally meet you.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. I'm Carmen Wakely, and I form part of the broader Accenture leadership. And we take a real interest in getting to understand potential graduate joinees. So that's the reason why I've joined today.
I'm Camille Friedrichs, and I am the graduate recruiter for Accenture. And the purpose of today's interview is just for us to get to know you a bit better, to see whether you're a fit for Accenture and whether Accenture is a fit for you. Okay.
So if you're comfortable, we'd really like to start by understanding more about Zanele. How did you get to where you are right now? You know, a little bit more about your background, where you grew up, schooling, and talk a bit to us about your varsity decisions as well.
Okay, so I was born in Kenya. All right, my father and my mother met there, and I was born there, and then we moved here 10 years after that. I studied forensic science in my undergrad, all right, and then I branched into conservation genetics for my master's degree. So the reason I went to do that, at first I started doing engineering, which is good, but I lost interest along the way and thought I really wanted to do biological sciences, but because there was no funding, I went the other route. And I wanted to focus on research, that's why I went on to do my honors and my masters, because I value problem solving, I value just analyzing problems and troubleshooting the best way forward, so that's why I studied what I did.
Very interesting choice of subjects there, huh? Just looking at the field that you've gone into, and the fact that you're sitting here chatting to us today, what is it that you want to be doing with that knowledge that you've acquired? What is it that you want to be doing on a day-to-day basis?
Okay. So I always say that it's not so much about the context that you studied at varsity, but at the methods that you got out of there, the ability to manage time, the ability to interact with people that will help you in the job place. Hardly a number of people who do the same thing that they studied for, and that's what I plan on bringing into Accenture. The fact that I can manage time, the fact that I can interact with people, that I can help solve problems, that's what I want to bring into it. So anything that will allow me to do that, regardless of the industry that it's in, I'm happy doing.
Last bit from my side, because you've mentioned quite a bit about problem solving and identifying things. So whilst you were studying, what did you enjoy the most? And I'm not talking about your social life. I'm talking about at varsity in the topic.
Okay. The thing I enjoyed the most was, at first I focused on humans. And humans are a bit unpredictable, you know. Humans, there's psychology and all of that into it. But then I branched into animals, and I did that. But I realized there's so much connection in it, and there's always something to solve. There's always something that you can say, we could make this better. This is how we're currently doing things. We could speed this process up by doing this, this, and that, or cutting this off the process. So things like that, just bettering the processes that we go through while we're solving problems, regardless of which subject as well, because we're doing different subjects. But I could take something that we learned in the one subject and say, we don't need to do that whole process and waste time on that and waste resources. Let's rather skip certain steps and cover what we need to do on this side. So that's what I enjoyed most, applying what I've learned in the various areas into what I'm currently solving.
Awesome. Okay. So Zanele, what do you think Accenture does?
So Accenture, I know, goes into the private and public sector and analyzes situations within businesses and sees how best they can solve any problem that is being faced by within that organization, so the organization itself can carry on doing what they normally do and deliver what they need to deliver, but Accenture can come in and do the extra things that need to be done, the extra work that needs to be solved.
So I think that's a nice high-level understanding. So just to share with you a bit more about Accenture, it's a global firm, a professional services firm looking across technology, consulting, digital operations, really looking at the whole ambit around that. We play in the realm between business and technology. You know, we've recognized the critical role that technology plays in healthcare, in government, in financial services.
Okay, so that description really shows you how integrated all the different areas of our business is, right? And for business analysts or junior consultant coming on board, that's actually quite scary because you think that you need all that exposure to make a really good junior consultant. But what we're really looking for is exactly what you said. We're looking for someone who can come with all the theory that they have from the university experience and not only apply that theory, but have a different way of thinking about the way we do things and how we can really get our clients to that high performance level where they are the best business that they could possibly be, right? So we don't expect our junior consultants to come on board and do minutes of meetings or just get coffee for the rest of the leadership. We want to give you a place where you're doing meaningful work. And that is what we're about, because that's the only way we can get you to that level where you have really grown and gotten the great exposure that we want to give you. So our environment really cultivates that innovative thinking. That being said, the next steps for the process is for us to sort of just test that and see where you're at in those different areas. So what we expect from you is to really complete 3 different tasks. You'll be assigned a mentor, of course, to guide you through the tasks and give you that insight into the business of Accenture and how you can fit into it. And then after the 3 tasks, we'll take the feedback from everyone who's been involved, such as the client and your supervisor, as well as your mentor. And we'll then decide whether you are a great fit for our graduate program.
So Zanele, that being said, we'll both see you at the end. I wish you luck, enjoy the process. See you then.
Zanele uyaitshepa ke ngwanana ya leng ka hodimo ha dintho tsa hae ene ya leng ready ho lwantsha mathata a lefase. Accenture ke consulting company e nang le makala a mararo e le management consulting, e le outsourcing le technology. Boholo ba taba mona ke go thusa di clients tsa bona kapa di company tse ding hore di tsebe go hola ka go ntlafatsa tshebediso kapa tsamaiso ya di company. Di consultant tsa bona di eletsa di company tse dingwe hore di tsebe go tswela pele hantle. Mahaslase tje ka hare re bone leeto la Zanele ho go re jwetsa gore pallo ya hao e ka hare go wena, katlago ya hao e kala ha fela wena o nka qeto. Bophelo bona bo tletse ka tsamaiso ya dikgetho, is either wa kgetha kapa ha o kgethi, ho sa kgathallatse gore mang o reng, qeto ke ya hao. Ana ka jeno o tlo nka kgetho e feng ho isa pallong ya hao, e ka ba o ilo volunteera, ho bula kgwebo, ho batla mosebetsi, ke tjho le teng go khutlela sekolong, ho kaofela ho wena. Hasla selesikhathi manje nginibuze ipasne special bafethi lapha ku social media umbuzo engubeka kunina ukuthi kahle kahle nisatha kanjani inqomo zokuthi umuphi umkhakha ofuna ukulandela eksaseni lakho. Oqala ke ukuthatha umkhakha ke oqondile ngqo bafethu wazi uqala kuphi nokuthi ugcina kuphi, noma ke ulingise uZanele uqale la uthando lwakho lukhona ubheke ukuthi umuphi umkhakha ongakufanela. Ngithi phawulani khona lapha ku Facebook na ku Twitter njengamanje.
My name is Elizabeth Moiketsi. I'm a learning and transitions lead at Accenture. I've been with the firm for 5 years. So I look after all training needs for the company across all businesses for all our 2,500 employees in South Africa. So in my role, I develop just-in-time learning solutions for our people from across all spectrums of our business. Hello, Zanele.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks, and how are you?
I'm good, thank you. My name is Elizabeth Moiketsi, and I'm going to be your mentor today.
It's a pleasure to be mentored by you.
Thank you. One of your first tasks is for us to see your ability to solve the client's problem. So what we're going to do now is we're going to meet with Moshe from Afrotech Solutions. We're going to try to define what the problem in his company is. So I'm going to be sitting in, I'm going to be observing, and I'm going to be making notes while you are actually asking him questions to understand and analyze his problem.
Okay.
So are you comfortable with that?
Yes, I am.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, follow me. In task 1, Zanele has got to meet with Moshe, our client. She's got to understand what is Moshe's requirements are. She's got to understand what is their business challenge. She's got to understand how can she help the client. She's got to ask a lot of questions in that task in order for her to understand the client's requirement. She's got to build a relationship with that client in this particular meeting to make sure that she's got contact with the client even in the future.
Someone uNozanele othi ucela simkhanyisele indlela ufuna ukuphumelela athi kudala-ke ajampa amathafa ehle enyuka abantu bamhleka bafethu kodwa uyazi ngesizulu kuthiwani inxeba lendoda noma-ke ngithi elomfazi alihlekwa bheka la akhona-ke manje useyinkampani ney'nkulu ababiza ngokuthi i-Accenture bafethu azama-ke ukushaya i-management consulting bafethu uyabona-ke la bantu abayenza lo msebenzi ibona-ke abanceda iy'nkampani-ke noma-ke amabhizinisi ukuthi aziwe mhlaba wonke jikelele kodwa siyibambe siyibuyisele khona la ekhaya ngoba-ke khona igama engilifunayo njengoba-ke sikusikhathi sokuthi ngilishaye ngiwejambu lethu yakule viki neniyazi ma-hustlers njengenhlala yenza bafethu ngiyonikeza nje iletha nje noma-ke iklu eyodwa vo which is the letter V ngiphinde futhi ngintshele ukuthi wabona le gama esilifunayo bafethu wonke amabhizinisi anenkinga adinga ukuthi axazululwe phinde futhi alungiswe ngithi uma ulazi lo gama uyazi uyakuphi uyalaphana ku-social media yethu ufake eyakho impendulo ake sibona intokazi-ke iphethwe yinhlakanhlaka laphana uyobheka ukuthi inkampani ethize-ke iy'nkinga zayo zikuphi for iclient azabe ayisebenzela asimbone ku-task yakhe kuqala.
Hello, Moshe.
Hi, Liz.
How are you?
Nice seeing you.
Good, thanks. Please meet Zanele.
Hi, Zanele. Pleased to meet you.
Okay, let's take your seat.
Going into the client interview, I'm slightly nervous. However, I've prepared long and hard for this, and I will not allow my nerves to get in the way of my delivery.
Moshe, thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Zanele here is an applicant. As I said, she needs to spend some time with you to understand what is your current challenge in your company. So I've given her this time to actually have an interview with you, ask you a whole lot of questions. So I'll be sitting in and just observing.
No problem.
So over to you, Zanele.
Moshe, just to understand and create a foundation for the whole solving of the challenge, just please tell me a bit more about Africast IT Solutions.
Africast is an IT company. We are based in Alexandra. We specialize in mobile application development. We are a tech startup. We have been in operation for the past 3 years. We also deal with office support, cloud hosting, networking, basically the basic IT solutions that we do offer to the corporate world.
Okay. And where can Accenture help? What is the challenge?
The challenge that we do have is that we have an application that we have developed and it's ready to go into the market. The name of the application is Mobile Bulletin.
My first meeting with a client, that was a long time ago. It was a bit scary. This is someone that I had not met before. I was intimidated by this person. And I let my emotions of fear actually overcome. So I don't even remember if at that point in time I was able to get as much information as I wanted to. But what I would advise Zanele to do is just to be comfortable in that space, build a rapport, which is very, very important.
So we have come up with a solution that will enable effective communication between the employer and those guys. It comes in a mobile application. It can be accessed on any type of a handset, be it a smartphone or a non-smartphone. You don't need airtime in order for you to access this application because you can just send an SMS, you can just send to your managers, and the managers can also send to those workers. So in this application, it comes in all the 11 official languages. Because like the guys that we are targeting, most of them, they are the low-end earners in terms of English as it is the predominant communication language. So there is a language barrier. So when you use this application, you are able to select the preferred language that you would like to receive your communication in.
When interacting with a client, you have to make the client feel that you are the right person to be solving the solution for them. So you have to have them feel comfortable about them leaving you with this problem, leaving you with their business and trusting in you to solve it. And you need to ask them what they expect of you and when they expect that from you. Just let you have a time frame and just let you manage your expectations as well. Based on all of this, what does success look for you once we're done with the whole challenge and bring into your solution? What will be success for you?
We believe that partnering with Accenture with this application of ours, we believe that it will assist us to break the barrier. It will give us a definite access to market.
Part of being in consulting is not getting comfortable with an industry and with the people in the industry, because the industry itself is ever changing and the people that you interact with within that industry are ever changing. So you need to accept, you need to learn that and be able to adapt as quickly as possible within a situation with people. And that I really enjoy. That is part of the beauty in consulting, that you will meet people, a lot of people that you will learn a number of things from, and that means you'll always be learning. That's lovely. So what we will do from here on is gather with experts in the different parts of the business just to put together the best possible solution for mobile bulletin and taking it and making it penetrate the different markets. And once we're done with that, we'll come back to you and present the solutions for you. That will work for you?
Yeah.
That's lovely. So my meeting with the client was very successful. I met him and he told me that they already had a product and that they wanted to take it to market, but wanted to ensure that all the enhancements and all the functionalities within the app were ready, so that once they launch it, it performs at its highest. And that is what we got from that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Liz.
Okay, based on that interview with Moshe, do you feel that you have enough information to work with?
Yes, I do. I approached it in getting the background first, understanding not only the business but also the app, what the app does. I also try to gather what he expects from us and what success looks like for him. I also gathered how long he has given us to help and solve the problem. That will also just assist us in spreading out the resources that we have and assigning the right tasks to everyone, just to ensure that we come forward with a solution that's well-rounded.
Do you think this is doable, given the timing?
Yes, I do. And I also appreciate the fact, as you mentioned earlier, where there are a lot of people that can assist me, so I don't need to know everything, but I can go to them and ask them, because they are expertise in the different fields that their business needs help with, and get from them what can assist me in this project.
I expected certain things out of Zanele, but she actually surprised me because she was so professional in the way she conducted herself in the meeting with Moshe. She wasn't intimidated by the client. She actually kept eye contact with the client, and she asked a whole lot of questions. She wanted to be clear, and I thought that she actually executed that very well. Her communication skills as well as her presentation skills were very impressive.
Wa utlwahala hore o tseba se a se buang dipotsong tsa hae le go mameleng ha hae. Ha ile di management consultant ba tlameha go bana le bokgoni ba go sebedisana le batho, bokgoni ba go bua, bokgoni ba go rekisa, bokgoni ba go nahanisisa, ha ba qeta ba tla le tharollo. Mahaslase ha ile tumelo ke ntho e kgolo ho katleho ya hao. Ha se o nkile qeto, dumela bese o nka mehato. O se ke wa tshosa ke batho bane pallo eo ke ya hao ha se ya bona. Ha ile Zanele ko tasking e latelang le yena o nka mehato ka ho nka client a ikenye letong la katleho.
Zanele, with all that we have discussed with Moshe in our meeting earlier, are you comfortable at this point in time that we can get into task 2?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, the purpose of this second task is for us to really see how you analyze the information that Moshe has given you and how you're going to be solving this problem for Moshe. And also just to have a look at your project management skills, given the time that you have, the timing that you have to actually come up with this solution. In task 2, Zanele has got to start building a solution for a client. Therefore, she's got to gather that information that she's gotten from a meeting with the client and then start unpacking it. She's got to talk to different people in the business to actually help her solve this client's problem. She's got to use different platforms within our systems to actually come up with a solution for a client. She's got to put together a presentation to present to the client. Joel, thank you for your time. I wanted to meet Zanele today, whom I need you to help assist.
Hi, Zanele.
Hi, Joel. Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, thank you.
Thank you for helping me put together a well-rounded solution for the client. I met with them. They are Africa's IT Solutions. They have built an app called Mobile Bulletin, which they want to take to market, which they intend of penetrating different industries. So we just need to make sure that before they do that, that all the requirements that are in the app are met. So thank you for meeting with me to help me with that.
Okay.
So the one thing that they want is that the communication between the company and its employees is immediate. Are we able to do that? In giving the client an all-rounded solution from every aspect, we met with Joel, who was the expert in the technology field, just to confirm that the requirements that the client wanted were in place and that we were ready to go live with the product. Just that when we go live, everything is in order, and that gave me comfort. And then I could go back to the client and present something that I'm comfortable in that has been given to me by experts.
Zanele, I think yes, we will be able to do that.
The other thing is that the different employees that work in the different industries speak a wide variety of languages, and therefore the app is able to communicate and support the different languages. I think that should be possible as well.
Yeah, no, that is possible as well.
Right. It must also be cost effective and work across different networks, as that is the case with users.
The most fulfilling thing about being an analyst is coming from the unknown to the known, and it's a learning on a daily basis. Analysts get to learn on a daily basis different things about different companies. What is most exciting for analysts as well is that they get to interact and interface with different people at different companies at different levels, and they get to learn new skills on a daily basis.
The most unique selling point of this app is that it's able to determine whether numbers of the people that it's sending messages to are active or not, so that you ensure that you don't waste money sending messages to numbers that don't exist, and also to ensure that the people that are trying to be communicated to actually get the message trying to be relayed. So are we able to do that, and are there any technologies in place to assist us with that?
Yeah, that's HLR, so it should be compliant with that. So we should be able to do that.
Okay, the client's product, which is the app, is a great idea. It allows staff who in the past may have felt they're not involved within an organization, that they don't get communicated with at the same speed as people who may be high in the hierarchy, that they'll feel involved, that the company can rest assured when they want to communicate something, say an emergency, that everyone will be informed on time. That is brilliant.
Zanele, thank you so much for the info that you've provided today. So from what you've outlined to me, it seems we on track. Nothing has changed in terms of what the team is working on. We've covered most of all the requirements that you outlined today.
So we'll be able to deliver to the client.
Definitely.
Great, I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
So, with all that information that we have, we now have to put it into a presentation format. So I'm going to get you a laptop so that you can put together a presentation, and you're comfortable with working through a laptop, right?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zanele. Okay, Zanele, now we need to put together this presentation. So how we actually outline it is going to be very important in terms of the final look that we're going to be presenting to the client. So let us start with the introductory slide. This part of the task is most crucial. She will have to come up with a unique solution to fit a client's need. She seems to be progressing well. The research she has done is extensive. I love how she has reached out to others to leverage off their knowledge and skills.
In putting together the solution, the ability to bounce off the ideas of Liz has been great, which has helped me to see things from a different perspective and made me comfortable in presenting the solution to the client.
The this is looking great. So where did you get this information about the company?
This information I gathered from the time we met Moshe in the interview. This is part of what he told me, and I thought it would be nice to have it in the introduction of the slide, just to form a foundation of the business itself.
Brilliant, good. Okay.
Finding solutions to a problem appeals to me most. Finding a problem is one-dimensional. You find a problem, but solutions, you have many solutions that you find for that problem. That diversity of solutions appeals to me more.
I felt that she's done very well in executing her second task. I actually met her up with another person in the business, Joel Matau, and there again her interaction and her level of professionalism, her level of asking questions, wanting to verify that the facts that she's got on the table are actually correct. I think she did very, very well in putting it together and using different expertise to bring it together.
Zanele o professional maitshwarong le mekgweng ya hae. Mona he re bona o tlameha go bana le botsebi ba lefapha. Ene seo ke thuto ya bophelo kaofela hobane business e fetoga ka nako tsohle. Technology le yona e potlakisa diphetogo tseo. Mahaslas nnete ke ena e o tlameha go e hopola ka nako tsohle. Maemo a o leng ka hare ho ona ha se pallo ya hao kapa qetelo ya moo o yang teng. Tse ditle le tse tsotseng pele di santsane ditla. Ha re khutlela mane ko Zanele se a beile mathata ene hape a nkile qeto. Hona tje o tlameha go presentela client ya hae tharollo ya hae.
Okay, Zanele, now that you've gone through your first task and your second task, which was putting together a presentation, this is your opportunity to now present this to our client. Are you feeling ready to do this?
Yes, I am.
Are you confident?
Yes, I am.
Remember, you just need to stick to all the research that you've done. Just present it to the client and re-emphasize the messaging and what are the benefits. That's what he's going to want to see out of this in order for you to be able to sell. Remember, the aim is to sell this at the end of the day, remember?
Correct.
And then also make sure that you keep eye contact with them so that you don't lose them in the presentation. Engage with them. Ask them if they have any questions so that they can ask you any questions. And if you're not sure about anything, it's okay. You can always find out later.
Correct.
But be confident and try to keep them engaged and stay engaged throughout the presentation. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you.
In task 3, Zanele has got to present back to the client. She's got to present a solution. She's got to win the client over. She's got to convince the client that the solution that she's put together can actually work and we can sell it.
Hustlers kuthiwa ngobubheka umuntu ujahile yabona ke masesiqopha umlando wakhe usisi bafethu uZanele siyazi umuntu oqhamuka le emaphandleni bafethu kodwa meka phakathi emaboardroom bafethu ushaya isilungu esinohloze bafethu asikhipha ngamakhala ke alungisa izinkinga zebusiness ye client yakhe ethize bafethu kodwa ngiyanibona lapha emakhaya ngixakekile iword jumble iyanxebula sawuthi ngincedeke nginikeze another clue bafethu which is the letter S ngiphinde futhi ngithi uX onga Dela wena wink wink notch notch kodwa yemasibuya emva kwekhefu sibona ukuthi ngabe intokazi ke izowafezekisa amaphupho ayo mina ngithi asithi qedela thina uma sibuya emva kwekhefu
Thank you for meeting up with me again. Welcome to Mobile Bulletin. Thank you, Elizabeth, for being here. As discussed previously with discussing the product going to market, this is the presentation that we've come up with at Accenture, the solution that we've put together in enhancing Mobile Bulletin. Just an overview of what we'll cover in today's presentation is confirming the requirements that you want in mobile app before it goes into market, the benefits that the requirements and the app will offer, as well as just a conclusion of the whole app before it goes to market.
Okay.
All right. So the one thing that you pointed out was that the main aim of Mobile Bulletin was to disseminate information to organizations at different levels of staff, right? And it was important that different staff work office-based, others work in field, and the support staff that offer support to both the office-based and the field workers. And it was important to reach them in terms of communicating with them. It's important to get involved in the client's challenge, in the client's space of mind, so that you can give them the best possible solution. You need to immerse yourself in it so that you become part of it. You feel like you're solving the problem for yourself, as if you're part of that family, of that company and organization that you're part of, that you put yourself in the shoes of the person working in the mine, in the kitchen, and saying, I want to be communicated to. I want to know when there's an emergency. I want to be able to send back a message in my language so that you don't misunderstand me. You need to understand things in that way, and that way you're able to go back to your clients and present back and say to them, this is what we have found, as if it affects you. The benefits of Mobile Bulletin, which is going to be the selling point, is that the bundles that the companies buy do not expire. So you could buy a larger bundle and it will not expire regardless of how soon you use it. And there's no cost to the replier. So the worker in the field does not have to worry that if I respond to this message, it's going to cost me. There's no cost to them. And they can respond in any language that they speak, in one of the 11 languages in South Africa. And the selling point of this was the HLR capability of being able to determine whether a number is active before you send the message out, so that the company saves, and also so that the person being sent the message actually receives the message and is not left out in terms of being notified of an emergency or being notified of a meeting that is going to take place, and so they're always being kept in the loop. Okay. Right? It's also very cost effective in terms of taking into account the fact that it is no cost to the person receiving, but also the bundles don't expire means that it's cost effective for them as well. Okay. Right. This is just a comparison in terms of differentiating Mobile Bulletin with anything that is out there in the market. Okay, so you will see that Mobile Bulletin fits all of them in terms of being beneficial in that. If you compare that to the bulk SMSs, you need airtime for that, and so do you need data to send an email. Same thing for going onto a website. We didn't include a notice board, which you have to be at the place in order to read the message and actually walk past that notice board in order to read the message. It's secure user data, so it secures the information that may be on your phone that is private, so it doesn't breach that as well.
In the consulting space, it's a very high performance delivered environment. As we say in our motto here at Accenture, one has got to be very open-minded, very open to learn, be open to feedback. Sometimes the feedback from the client might say, I don't actually like this solution. So somebody has got to be very open-minded in going back and going back to the drawing board and actually re-looking at a solution.
No, this is great. I'm happy that you guys were able to meet my requirements and expectations, especially the third point, the POPI Act compliant. That was one of my major concerns, and that it comes in all 11 official languages, and the fact that the user will not need to have airtime or data in order to access this application. This is quite impressive. I'm really happy.
So Accenture is delighted to work with you, to taking this product to market. We are very happy to have worked with you, and we're very happy to continue to work with you from here on. We really appreciate it for having the trust within Accenture, and we're happy to have delivered this for you. Thank you, Moshe.
Okay, Zanele, welcome back. How did the tasks go?
The tasks were fun. I was a bit scared at first, but after that I got into it. It was very calm. The presentation part was a bit shaky, but then you get into it. And once you own the problem, once you own the situation, you become part of it and you're able to present as if you were part of the business. So that was great. Yeah, it was a great day.
So we received some feedback from everyone involved, your mentor Elizabeth, Joel, and then the client, of course, Moshe. And I wanted to know from you, where do you think you would fit in at Accenture?
I would fit in anywhere that makes use of my strengths, and anywhere that would make me discuss strengths that I didn't think I had. So Yes, I feel that I present well, or I could shape my presenting skills, so I'd like to work on that, but I also like to work on anything that would make me discover things about myself that I didn't know. So part of it being in the HMPS, Health and Public Service, that will be great, but in any one of the other divisions as well will be great as well, just as long as I'm within Accenture, that will be lovely.
Okay, great. Well, I must say the feedback was really great, and I think you were already starting to show your strengths in that process. We heard about how you collaborated with people through the process, how well you were able to connect with the client, understand the problem, resolve the problem, and it really looked to us like you behaved even more so than what we would be looking for from an Accenture perspective. So we are delighted to offer you a position into our graduate role, and we really hope that it's something that would be what you're looking for. And I think having heard and seen the feedback that's coming out as well, Zanele, it really seems to me that you should keep your eyes open for the broader opportunities that this is going to bring for you. You're coming in already with a lot of strengths and ability, but really Accenture is a global organization. You'll work with different people in different teams. Your growth is going to be not only around health and public sector, but you'll get to do things that are digital, you'll get to do things that are purely looking at strategy, and I would strongly suggest that you and I stay in touch and we figure out how we make sure that you get those growth opportunities going.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
It was lovely meeting you. Thanks, Zanele.
So my day at Accenture has been great. I've had to interact with the clients, I've had to interact with people with expertise at Accenture. It's been a great day. I've finally got my dream job, and I can do what I plan to do, grow within the different industries at Accenture, and also help my brother through his studies and travel, because I want to travel. My message is not to allow the thing that you studied or the industry that you started in to limit you, and just keep pushing wherever you find yourself. Use that as a learning curve, and we'll see what happens from there. So pressa, pusha, handa.
O sebeditse Zanele, re elelletswe ka wena hore pallo ya hao ha e ketsahale fela ke kgetho ene ha o e emeli o ya ifinyella. Potso ya rona ya beke ena e tswa ko Mpumi a re yena o na le kgatlhego ya go ithutela automotive engineering. Automotive engineering program e kwetlisa baithuti ka go bopa, ka go aha diteko tsa di motorized vehicles le dintho tsa teng. Pele o ka ba automotive engineer o tlameha go qeta 3-year degree ya mechanical engineering. Ha se o iqetile he o tla etsa postgrad ya hao mo o ilo tobana le dintho tsa automotive. Senior certificate o ya ihloka e ka go dumellang go etsa degree kapa go etsa diploma. Maths le physical sciences di tswelletse pele. Ha e ka ba hona le ho sa o fumanang hopola o checkela Facebook kapa website ya rona. Ke emetse ya hao potso. Wololo simbonile uZanele bafethu ashaya amaholo awololo njengoba ke simbonga bafethu ukusikhombisa ukuthi akhathazekile ukuthi udabuka kuphi noma ke uqhamuka kuphi nawe ke amaphupho akho ungawafezekisa bafethu ngithi siyambonga phinde futhi simfise inhlanhla kuyonke into zakho ayenza ngoba ngithi ukusasa lakhe liqhame ngempela kodwa khona manje sokusikhathi ukuthi manje sisolve X bafethu sinikeze impendulo yethu khona lapha ku word jumble and igama kade silifuna bafethu yi solve bafethu ngithi mo uyitholile hayi no usebenze kahle uma ungayitholanga hayi qakile kodwa better luck next time bafethu sikulo sikhathi ke mina mfana kaMtambo ngidonsa zonke intambo ngiphume kanje ngithi ake sihlangane ke enkundleni zokuxhumana bafethu khona lapha no social media and also on our website and also on YouTube ungakhohlwa ukuthi ubukele uhlelo lwethu masiliphinda khona ngo Thursday bafethu ngo 11 o'clock ngeenkathi ezikhathele kanje kodwa mina ke ngihlala ngitshela ngithi press push phanda ungaphela umoya faka umoya and remember don't look down look up and stay up bafethu ngimgcwalisele awuthi ke mina ngishaye ngichitheke ngizonibona.